More children are not going to school, and it's happening all over the country. Chronic absenteeism is so rampant that leaders in Washington are now working to find solutions.
And tonight, we examine the issue in Duval County, where some schools have reported more than 70% of students as chronically absent. I talked with a panel of experts about the work underway to get them back in class and why everyone watching this report should care. To understand the problem, let's start by defining it. A student is considered chronically absent when they miss at least 10% of days in a school year, excused or unexcused. In most districts, the minimum amount of instruction time is 180 days, so that's at least 18 days of class time students are missing. National data shows 26% of public school students were chronically absent last school year, a 15% increase since before the pandemic. Numbers from Florida show 30.9% of students were chronically absent last school year, and nearly 42% in Duval County, our largest local school district.
It's sad. I mean, for me, when you think about those stats, you're realizing how much kids are missing.
Local pastor Luke Benjamin is the father of two school-aged girls, married to an educator and vice president of the Highlands Elementary School PTA.
My wife being a teacher, she tells me all the time, like if a kid misses 2 or 3 days a month, they miss a key component of whatever lesson they're learning.
That learning loss can lead to poor grades and low standardized test scores, but that's only the beginning. Assistant State Attorney and Smart Justice Division Chief Coral Messina.
Children that are chronically absent and are truant from school are more likely to experience substance use issues, alcoholism, mental health. It impacts employment, which impacts the economy. And then, of course, it leads to delinquency and being involved in the criminal justice system.
Long-term effects that ultimately impact our entire community. Katrina Taylor, Director of School Behavioral Health for Duval County Public Schools, says chronic absenteeism often has a common source.
One word: trauma. And that's all encompassing of parent issues, community violence, homelessness, transient. And these are all trauma that our students are dealing with every single day.
Sue Watson agrees. She's the director of the Exchange Club Family Center's Parent Aid Program, which sends mentors into local homes to help parents and guardians learn tools to build stable households and prevent abuse and neglect.
They're dealing with their own trauma. They're dealing with their own not being able to pay the bills, or losing a job, or the car broke down, or not having transportation to get their children where they need to go.
Chronic absenteeism is often more prevalent in economically disadvantaged communities.
We try to train and educate our school-based staff because we want to be as prevention-focused as possible.
If a student has 5 unexcused absences within a calendar month or 10 days within a 90-day period, parents have to meet with the district attendance intervention team, where they work to figure out what's keeping the child out of school and what support the family needs. If the child continues to miss school, Taylor says the response ramps up to include home visits, counseling, and social workers. In cases of chronic absenteeism, several agencies get involved, including DCF, the Department of Juvenile Justice, the State Attorney's Office, the Exchange Club Family Center, and other nonprofits. What are the challenges and the gaps in the current processes?
I would say the major gap that we see is funding, not having enough individuals at the school level that can really help to address truancy, like our truancy officers, needing more of them to really go out and find these kids and help to remove barriers and go knock on doors.
Taylor says there are currently 17 truancy officers for the more than 129,000 students in the district.
I think we certainly need more people to help with investigating. At best, the children are at home watching TV, but at worst, they're being abused and neglected by their caregivers.
Messina said she would like to see a central entity accountable for overseeing truancy and chronic absenteeism, ideally on a city level.
That's why having something like a truancy czar, for example, to kind of help lead and direct the intervention process through multiple agencies might be a helpful solution.
Watson said there must be more community awareness and engagement.
It's a community issue, and needing all the support we can to back up families and to be there with families and to emphasize the importance of education.
Pastor Benjamin, who's in the process of launching the City Church at Highland, says his church will be doing everything it can to answer the call.
It takes a village. And I really believe that. We should be looking out for each other's children, because this truancy level doesn't just affect that kid, it affects the entire community.
mentioned possible city-level intervention to tackle this issue. So I did reach out to Mayor Deegan's office and got the following statement. The truancy crisis is of great concern to Mayor Deegan. She has directed a team to work with Duval County Public Schools and community partners to create a public education and outreach campaign that encourages attendance going into the next school year. We'll have more to share on that effort as August approaches. And you can find this entire report, plus links to check truancy and absenteeism rates at your child's school right now on actionnewsjax.com.